Oh, welcome back. Those smiles, they will
the
definitely be missed. And one man that will be missing those smiles is the man that worked to Coach Stephen Keshi in South Africa, actually. Sylvanus Okpala, he was the assistant to Coach Stephen Keshi. He joins us now live on the program to show some love to the big boss. Good morning, Coach, and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, we're talking about the life and times of Coach Stephen Keshi. What are the special moments you share with the late coach?
It's been a long way. We started this journey in 1978 as what you call the today's Flying Eagles. 78, 79, and that's where we joined. He came from St. Peter's College, Lagos, and I came from Onitsha Metropolitan Secondary School, Onitsha. And we met in Lagos, and we joined the team, and we played for under 17, which I was the captain then, although we didn't qualify. But that was when we started this journey. And again, we joined the national team together the same 1979, before the African Nations Cup. Although he had some injury, he was asked to go home. He would have been among the registered players in 1980 African Nations Cup. But I was among the team ahead, and we won the championship. It has been a long journey, and we joined again as coaches at the national team when he called me to come under 16. And we worked very closely, very friendly, a very nice guy, very good guy.
Okay, Coach, I just want, as someone that has worked extensively with Stephen Keshi, can you give us a bit of insight into his coaching methods?
Please, can you speak up? I'm not hearing you well.
Yes, as someone that has worked extensively with Stephen Keshi, can you give us a bit of insight into his training methods?
No, well, he was a nice coach. In fact, when I joined him in the coaching crew, I never knew he had reached that level until I worked with him. He was a very good coach, very tactical, very disciplined. And again, you can be a good coach without being a good manager. He was a good coach as well as a good manager. And that was why we won the African Nations Cup in 2013. And we worked very closely. He was a very nice guy, very good coach. And remember he qualified Togo of all in a World Cup qualifier, in a World Cup in I think 2002 or so.
2006.
In Germany and so on. I think he has done his part. And I hope he will be given a state barrier. But that's their own national barrier. That's what I mean by state barrier.
I would like to know the last moment you shared with Coach Stephen Keshi. What did you guys talk about?
He hadn't called anybody. I remember the first time he called me was when he called me in 2010 to come and assist him as a national team coach. And the last time he called me again, which I was very surprised, was just last week. He just called me and he said, Okpala, when I picked the phone, I said, Keshi, it's you that is calling. It's unusual with you. We started laughing. Then he asked me whether I went to train every morning like I used to do. I said, yes, I've just finished playing. I came back and made the call. And he said, okay, we just joke. We never discussed anything about football or coaching. We were just joking and laughing and so on. He said, well, why he called was he wanted to know how I am, and he had wanted to hear from me, that he's happy that he heard from me. And they asked me about my family. I asked him about his, and we discussed. And he said he was coming to Lagos this week, that since we left the national team, we have not met face-to-face to discuss. So that he'll be coming to Lagos this week, and when he comes, he will get in touch with me. Either he comes to my first residence to come and meet me, or I will meet him wherever he will be putting up. The lesson I had was a very sad news. That was early yesterday morning. Very sad news.
Very sad news indeed. Thank you so much, Sylvanus Okpala, for speaking to us on the show. Thank you. Tayo, that's what I do not understand. Everybody that shared their last moments with the coach would say, oh, last week, oh, 2 days ago, oh, he said we're going to meet.
And that's why during the show yesterday it was a bit difficult because of the shock. I mean, it's just happened, out of the blues, and that's why the reaction has been like that. And it's a shame, like Austin. It's a big shame. But the tributes are still pouring in, and we're going to keep taking them. We still have some other people lined up on the show today.
That's right. And guess who is lined up right now? The BBC Sports commentator, Seth Bennett.
Awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let's go. Seth Bennett joins us now on the program. Good morning, Seth, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Welcome to Manchester.
Okay, now we're in Lagos. Welcome to Lagos. Good to see you, Ben. We're mourning the late coach, Stephen Keshi. Tell me some of the moments you have covering that coach.
Well, it's interesting for me because, you know, who am I? I'm a football commentator, a sports commentator from Sheffield in England, and, you know, probably 10 years ago, I never thought that my paths would cross with Stephen Keshi, but actually it did, and relatively frequently towards the back end of his life, sadly now. And I had the fortune of covering the Africa Cup of Nations. I had the fortune of covering the World Cup as well. So my relationship with him was very much purely business. You know, we didn't have the kind of friendship that many of the people that you're speaking to today did have with him. And what I always found was a very, very charming man. A man that, when I first became aware of him, actually, he was working for the BBC. He was helping us cover the Africa Cup of Nations. And he did it in such a warm way. He always had that smile that was never too far away. And you always just got the feeling with him that he was somebody that would be a lot of fun to be around. And, you know, as I got to know him a little bit better, that's exactly what I found out. And the people who I speak to that know him very, very well all tell me that he's just one of those people that you enjoy being around on a daily basis.
So, Seth, when you heard the news about his passing, how did you receive it?
Well, it's one of those things. Me, like many people, wake up first thing in the morning, and before you get the sleep out of your eyes, you flip the phone on and you start scrolling through your timelines. And it was one of the first things that I saw, and it was the moment where the heart lurches, where you go, whoa, really? No. Is this true? And then you do the searches and you start to look around for credible news agencies that are reporting the story. And of course, then I see it's on the BBC website as well. And then you realize that actually this is a moment that is really bad news. And, you know, I suppose the sad bit for me was my last dealings with him were when he was going through a particularly rocky spell with the Football Federation, when his job was very much under threat, where he was in the job, he was out of the job. They weren't the fun conversations that I'd had with him previously. And I think that was probably, you know, something that I found very sad. Somebody who's such a legend, such a hero, somebody he's the big boss. There is only one big boss, and it's Stephen Keshi. And you know, to know that it kind of ended that way for him with the national team that he served so well, it was so disappointing to me.
So disappointing. Thank you, Seth. Thank you so much. It just described it. You heard the news like, whoa, really? Is he really gone? And
his last point about, you know, that's not very amicable, you know, parting of ways with NFF. Yeah, if only that didn't happen.
Coach Stephen Keshi is gone. Whoa, really? Seth Bennett. What a story. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back.